Okay, hi everyone. We're live from Houston, Texas. My name is Drew, and you're on Live with Captain Housekeeper, episode number 13. Lucky 13. 13's always been a lucky number for me. I think it gets a bad rap, but um, I still don't know why they don't have 13 floors on hotels. But this is episode number 13. We're almost through our third week of shows. It's been so much fun, so exciting. As you can see, back inside, we did the show Monday and Tuesday from the pool, from the backyard, which was a lot of fun, but weather did not cooperate today. So I'm back in the studio. I went outside and hi Karen, KB's here. I went outside to set up the equipment, which is an iPad, which is where you're at, and then of course my laptop so I can look at the comments without them disappearing on me. And I was out there setting up, and while it was partially sunny when I went outside, it started raining. And it rained for exactly 10 seconds. But 10 seconds of rain on a laptop and an iPad, no good, right? No good can come of that. So I just came back inside and set up in the studio again, which is perfectly pleasant because the air conditioning's here. So my hair isn't as big as it was the other day because of the humidity out there. Hey, Sarah says, Sarah May. Hi, I caught you live. Well, I caught you back. I'm glad you're here, Sarah May. DJ's here. Hello. Yeah, normally the show's at 11 a.m., which is just an arbitrary time that I chose. It seemed like a good time for my day because, part of what I like to do is go over my to-do list for the day. So having it in the morning seemed like a good idea, and getting, the morning routine done with the dogs and everything, 11 a.m. seemed like a good idea. But today, I had an appointment that I made a couple months ago, and I didn't want to move it. So I had an appointment at 10:30, and so now I am having the show this afternoon, but it's just today. Anyway, so now you know. Tomorrow we'll be back at the same time, 11 a.m. Hope you can join me. If you can't, you can always come back and watch the shows later. Remember to subscribe and ring the little notification bell, and then when I do go live, even if it's at a different time like today, you'll be notified. So anyway, Siri thought I was talking to it and wanted to answer. I thought I swore at it. I said, there's no need for that. I have my Siri set as a British man because that's hilarious when he answers and he's like, oh, oh, oh. So he was like, there's no need for talking like that. I was like, oh, well, sorry, Siri. Oh, look, Ruthie's here. Hi, Ruthie's Crafting Corner. Good to see you also. Well, everybody's here. This is great. So yesterday, I went to the grocery store and sat in the car for 10 minutes because I just didn't want to face the crowd. And if you follow my day over on Instagram, which there's a link in the show description of my Captain Housekeeper link Instagram account, you saw that I sat there and I was like, I don't want to go in. Well, people started to tell me that a lot more people use grocery delivery service than I realized. I mean, I know it's available, I've seen it, but I hadn't really taken advantage of it because, well, number one, I work from home, so going out to the grocery store is often my only contact with the 3D people, as I like to call them. Bless their hearts, I tend to talk a lot when I get to interact with a real person. So it's like, oh, and they're like, oh, okay, you have 2 dogs, I know, we get it. It's like, oh, look at pictures. But anyway, yes, KB says you can also do pickup service at the grocery store, which I've seen. The closest grocery store I have here that's worth going to is a Kroger, and they have that curbside pickup. And, oh, man, they're always pushing that cart through the store and, fulfilling orders. So a lot of people must use it. I just haven't tried it yet. But then I got an email from Costco this morning saying they had 2-hour delivery of everything in the store. And it's like, oh my gosh, Costco delivery. I don't have to go to Costco either. So now I'm thinking I'm going to try using some of these grocery delivery services. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm sure some of you guys use it too. Um, yeah, you can do the pickup delivery if you don't have, I think delivery is probably more in bigger cities. So if you're lucky enough to live out in the country, that might not be available, but you probably still have curbside. Um, People were mentioning all the different grocery stores have that curbside, Kroger and Walmart and everything. But yeah, KB doesn't like Kroger. Here in Texas, we have a wonderful grocery store called HEB, which rumor has it stands for Here Everything's Better. And I've been to an HEB and it's a really nice grocery store, but there's not one close to me. So, unless I want to drive get on the freeway to go grocery shopping, which I don't. So Jennifer says, I don't think I want anyone else choosing my bananas. Jennifer, I kind of hesitate with that too, because I've seen those the people doing the grocery shopping for the pickup delivery, and it's like they're like, whatever. It's like, I like to study my tomatoes before, but I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to do an experiment. I'll let you know how it goes, whether or not I'm a fan. It depends on how expensive it is too, of course. But today, because of my appointment this morning, which was right at the same time as the show, but I had scheduled it months ago, so I didn't want to change it. We're doing the show this afternoon, but I've done most of the stuff on my attack plan already. I hope you have also. If you don't have an attack plan, of course, you can go to my website. There's a link in the show description. I have a printable version of my attack plan that you can follow along during the week. Check things off as you do them, so that your weekends are free to spend with your loved ones, which I think is very important. Now that it's spring and summer almost everywhere, you should be outdoors on weekends. But today, every 3 days, I've split my house up into sections that every 3 days I wash some windows. And that way, they're always getting cleaned because we have an algae problem here in Houston because of the humidity. So today I have to do windows, and I believe I'm in the dining room today. So we're going to start the dining room ones. Unfortunately, the dining room ones, I have to use a ladder, which I don't like because it's just a hassle, and the dogs are always underfoot. But going to do those today, and I'm also going to water all the plants, which is one of my favorite things to do. But my recently deceased kitty, Cleocatra, would eat all the house plants. So over the years, she was 17 when she passed away, she would eat the house plants. So I ended up eliminating most of the house plants, and she passed away in October. So I have been adding more house plants into my life because I like having them, and I have so many windows. I mean, it works out well. But I had gotten out of the habit of watering them, so for the first couple months, I killed a bunch of plants because I just kept forgetting. So then I added it to my attack plan on Wednesdays. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, on Wednesdays I water all the plants, whether they need it or not. Except the orchid. I put an ice cube on the orchid, which a previous episode of the live I gave some tips on orchids. So speaking of that, if you have any questions you want me to answer in more detail, I'm trying to watch the comments as they come through so I can answer, but if I miss it, don't worry, I'll talk about it in the future on a future episode. So leave comments in the chat room if you're in the chat room live. But if you're watching the show later on, go ahead and leave them as a comment, and I promise, I'm keeping a list, I will get to your question eventually. So let's see what people are saying. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the condolences. Cleocatra was such a wonderful kitty. She was a calico, kind of insane. Cleo and her sister Chandler were litter mates. And in the other side, I used to live in Dallas, and I worked with an organization called Feral Friends, and I used to foster feral kittens until they could get adopted, which, I mean, what's better than having a bunch of kittens in your house, right? But it was time to get cats of my own, so there were these two, and they were sisters, and they were so small their eyes were still blue. Chandler was actually almost white, And then Cleopatra, of course, was a calico. And then as they matured, Chandler turned into like this peanut butter color, and Cleo's, the patches of her calico patches were all tabbied, which were just beautiful. But they were both kind of insane because I think they found them under a porch, and they should have been with their mom longer, so they had special needs, which makes them adorable. But Miss Chandler's doing really well, in case you're curious. She's adapted to being the queen of the castle. Cleo was kind of dominant, so anyway. So Julie, I'm here, I'm here. Finally, Julie's here. Say hi to Julie, everyone. She's here, and she's at work. She's cutting power off to non-payers. That's a lot of power you have. Just flip those switches. You got to pay your bills, right? I wanted to switch to solar here because I have some friends in Arizona that use solar power, and they actually get paid money. And they have an air conditioner like we do, and a pool and everything. But they came to the house, and we have too many trees. Not enough sun. Lots of sun, but the trees block it, and I'm not willing to cut down a tree to not have to pay electric. But yes, Julie, I will pay my bill every month, so I do not feel your wrath. KB's thinking about putting a small windmill. You know, I wish I could generate power just for the air conditioner. If I could just power the air conditioner with wind or with sun, I would be so much happier, because that's the bulk of my electric bill. It's so hot here in the summer, and if it's not cool, I can't sleep, and then I'm grumpy, and everybody's not happy. So the air conditioning bills are high, and I wish I could generate my own. I don't know if it's windy enough. So KB, when you look into that, let us know how that goes with the windmill idea, because I think they do make some that are like, they spin like this. You put them out in the yard. Stitching Out Loud. Hey, Stitching Out Loud, you're here in Houston too. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. Wow, so many people here. This makes me, you know, last time I did an afternoon show, more people showed up. Maybe I need to switch it to the afternoon. It's kind of weird to think about doing my to-do list, but maybe I can talk about what I've already done too. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. And you know, I'm kind of stuck at about 550 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribe. I need to hit the threshold of 1,000. It's a YouTube thing by the end of my first year on YouTube as Captain Housekeeper. So I'm kind of like, now I'm gonna start begging people to subscribe, because I need to hit 1,000 to unlock the next level of joy on YouTube. So please subscribe, share my channel with your friends, ask everyone to subscribe. And if you want to know when I go live, ring the notification bell, of course. And, oh, and I activated my Instagram account, the Captain Housekeeper one the other day. And so now, after I go over, you know, on the live show, we talk about what we have to do today. So now I'm kind of doing Instagram stories as I check the things off the list. So, you know, going to the car wash and the grocery store. And yesterday I had to clean the pool filter finally. The plumbers got in the way Monday. Today's Wednesday, so I did it Tuesday. I did it yesterday afternoon, and oh my gosh, Labrador shed so much. The thing that it looked like there was a dog when I opened up the lid, it was just fur. So filled with pollen. So I cleaned that all out, put it back together, ran the filter all night long, which I normally don't do. And the pool looked sparkling this morning. And I was looking forward to showing it to you, but it rained on me. So we're indoors. Tomorrow, I'm hoping tomorrow, 11 a.m., we'll be back at the pool. You can see how clean it's getting. Been working on it all week. Pretty proud of it. Then, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw this. Came back in from cleaning the filter, and the AC was malfunctioning. And the way I knew it was malfunctioning, which is like a nightmare in Houston, is when I had this AC unit replaced a couple years ago, they put the emergency drain, because you know an air conditioner drains, you know, it takes the moisture out of the air and it drains down below outside, but they always put emergency overflow. So if that drain gets clogged, it goes out the emergency overflow. They put the pipe right above the kitchen sink, which I actually think is a city code thing, and it was just gushing water right in front of the window. So I was like, ah! couldn't miss it. So I called them up, and the lady was so nice. I called the company that actually installed it a few years ago, and she was so nice. She was like, when would you like us to come?" And I said, "Well, maybe Thursday or Friday." And she said, "We can come right now." I was like, "You're not going to charge me $1,000, are you, if you come right now?" And she's like, "No." They actually had a deal, so I got it cheap. But yeah, they came and they blew out the lines, put bleach down the lines so that they wouldn't clog again. But what I found out, this is why my drain line, in case you have an air conditioner, is I wasn't changing the filter enough. And I have one of those in-line filters up in the attic that you're only supposed to change once a year. And I thought it was so clever because I change it on my birthday in July every year. And apparently, once again, shedding Labradors make everything dirtier than you think they do. So he pulled out the filter in front of me and a Labrador popped out, covered in dust. He was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." You need to do this at least twice a year. So because I didn't clean it, the condensation pulled the fur off, clogged up the lines, backed it up, went into the overflow, squirted out from the window. About gave me a heart attack because there's not supposed to be water just drizzling right outside the kitchen window, but it's a good system. So, oh, Florida. Ruthie's in Florida. The heat starts early. Yeah, the thing about Florida is you really don't have a winter, do you, there? I mean, Houston actually cools off a little bit, but gosh, the plants sure love it. My banana is so happy. It froze over the winter, froze back to the base, but it's about, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet tall already. So I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe vacuuming the dogs daily needs to be added to your chores. So on my attack plan, I need to put vacuum the dogs. Oh, Julie, don't leave so soon. Those poor people, you're going to turn off their air. I feel so bad for them. It's your job. I support you in doing your job, Julie. Yeah, so I've seen on YouTube dogs that like vacuums, but we'll see. Every time I vacuum the floor, which is quite often, Tamaya, the older one, she runs and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to kill the vacuum cleaner. I love it." So maybe she'll let me. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because it's the afternoon. Just, remember, just because you're in charge of the house, you don't have to do everything. Automate and delegate whenever possible. Please, I'm begging you, quit doing everything. Assign some chores to somebody else. You need more time to yourself, and you need your weekends off to go outdoors with your loved ones. And say it with me, no matter what life throws at me, I have the power to make today a fantastic day. All right, love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 11 a.m. Hopefully be poolside tomorrow. And maybe the dogs will be there. I don't know yet. Okay, see you then. Bye.